Giants, Part 1. Up first are bears. And yes, we all know bears are still pretty big and dangerous, but nothing is compared to what bears used to look like. So you see this mountain, and you see how it looks like it has a bunch of claw marks up and down it? Well, that's because it does. This mountain is called Devil's Tower, and there's a very disturbing story behind it. The scratches on this mountain are actually from a giant bear's claws. The bear always tried to reach the top, but it never could. This story has been passed on to generations of Native American tribes.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing alright, man. If you guys are brand new to the channel, you guys don't know what we do. We break down the scary and creepy videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG videos, Facebook, man. Anything weird, usual, and unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank my supporters, man, who's tapping into the channel, watching the entire video, hitting that post notification bell, man, and hitting that like button on each and every single video I drop. Really appreciate your support. Found this video for you guys today. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Let's explore the truth.
Cute animals that could actually kill you. While this creature is about the size of a teddy bear and has big, adorable eyes, experts say to stay away from a slow loris at all costs. If you even attempt to pick it up and hold it, it will most likely feel threatened and try to bite you. And their bites are filled with a fast-acting poison, so it's best to just admire its cuteness from far away. Seals may look adorable swimming and splashing in the water, but these guys are not to be messed with, especially if they're leopard seals. Leopard seals are known to be extremely aggressive and have been reported to attack researchers if they get too close to them. And even though their bites might not be enough to kill you, they can still leave you with permanent damage. Swans are seen as one of the most beautiful animals, but if you ever see one swimming around in a lake, don't even think about feeding them. Just like other wild animals, swans will assume that humans are threats, and if you try to feed them, they'll just get closer to you until it tries to bite you. Most people see dolphins as one of the friendliest creatures that everyone wants to swim with, but the only people that should be swimming with them are professionals. Wild dolphins have an instinct to attack without a clear purpose, so if you plan to get in the water with them, it's best to swim at a nice distance, because you'll never know what state they're in.
Creepy last words people said right before dying. A 20-year-old gang member was dying of primary liver cancer. In his last days, hours, and moments, he was angry. The family called the hospice nurse into the room and told her that they thought he was going. He wasn't responding, his eyes were glossy, his skin was cold, the end was imminent. His lovely mother whispered to him to go towards the light, to her Jesus. He opened his eyes, looked at her, and said, "F your Jesus." A second or two later, he slowly turned his head to the left and got the most horrific look on his face, as if he was looking at something that they couldn't see. And horrified, his face contorted, and he screamed with his last breath, eyes wide, "Oh sh*! Oh sh*! Oh no!" Then he made a guttural noise and promptly fell back into the bed and died. Every family member was shaking and too frightened to speak. The hospice nurse left the room and took 2 days off. She said she doesn't care if she never finds out what he saw.
What did he see, seekers?
AI art is not something that's terribly new, but have you heard about the woman that is haunting AI pictures? This is the face, and nobody can explain why she keeps showing up in AI images. If you look at her, she's not really general. I mean, there are specific characteristics here that are consistent, and nobody knows which prompts are generating this woman. Nobody knows why her face continues to appear in different models. So this has opened up one of my favorite questions about the idea that AI pictures can be haunted. And don't forget, if things like this are of interest to you, make sure to go check out the podcast.
Dirty facts about history.
Damn, what do you guys think, bro? We know AI, man, that technology, it keeps getting more advanced. So could that have been a glitch, or was somebody doing that on purpose? Or was it really just haunted, bro? AI is going in. It's not like we can control it, we can regulate it, but it's getting too advanced for my taste.
That school probably didn't teach you. In the 1400s, prostitutes wore wigs on their lady parts with fake pubic hair to prevent lice and cover up any syphilis sores before doing the dirty. An intern at NASA once stole a safe full of moon rocks, sprinkled them on a hotel bed, and proceeded to have sex with his girlfriend on top of them. Man was sentenced to 8 years in federal prison for getting his rocks off. Raphael, the Italian Renaissance artist, not the Ninja Turtle, died of exhaustion from non-stop sex. In other words, he boned till he croaked. A common hairstyle in 17th century Europe was the Polish plait, a gross, smelly mass of crusty, matted hair cemented together by pus, nits, and dirt. The hairstyle was believed to have healing properties and could supposedly protect people from illnesses. During the Iron Age in Ireland, a new king would be crowned in a ceremony in which he penetrated a horse in front of an audience. The horse would then be eaten for dinner by everyone who just witnessed them doing the dirty.
Hell no. I don't know what type of rituals and stuff they was doing back in the day, but that ain't it. What the hell? Edit. Call him out.
There was only one child when this photo was taken. Let's enhance it with sharp AI. Her and Mrs. Colton were taking a picture of their daughter. When they developed it, they were shocked to see their older daughter, Anne, who had to 3D only months prior in an accident. The other child seems to be sensing a presence, but after this picture was taken, they never saw Anne again.
How the hell did AI know that? It's getting too advanced. I'm
Did
telling
you know
y'all.
that there is a mummy in Sicily that blinks? Yes, she blinks. This is Rosalie Lombardo, who died of pneumonia in the 1920s at the age of 2 years old. Rosalie is perfectly preserved, from her external features to her internal organs, but that's not the strangest part. Her eyes are still as blue and flawless as the day that she passed away. She simply looks like a child taking a nap. But this child tends to open her eyes and close them randomly, like she's blinking away the cobwebs. People have come to see her for hundreds of years, and every time, visitors will leave and say, "That dead girl is blinking." What do you think it is?
How the hell is she blinking? We seen by the clips that we reviewed together how sometimes, you know, like even the body after it passes, it goes on, like it still does, like, I guess, weird things because of build up gas and things and stuff like that. But to be blinking, I've never heard that before. I need you guys' theories on that one.
I bet you don't know how false teeth were originally made. In the very beginning, most sets were made of animal teeth. These proved to be uncomfortable and ineffective. So that's when they started venturing into using human teeth in dentures. In the 1700s is when sugar became widely available across Europe, and sugar started to cause the teeth to decay way more rapidly. It wasn't uncommon for a peasant to remove their own tooth and sell it for a quick buck. There was also an issue with grave robbing to obtain teeth. Of course, neither of those were needed when Waterloo teeth became a thing. With over 50,000 young men lost at the Battle of Waterloo, suddenly they realized they had an overabundance of teeth. So it wasn't uncommon at all for someone to be wearing the teeth of a soldier.
People were stealing teeth back in the day. The more you know.
Is this the one that allegedly appears in the cemetery at night? Yes, it is. So this right here is Fabiola Rodriguez's grave site, and in August of 2020, her mom noticed that certain things were going missing, like toys and personal belongings from the site. A grave nearby this one, they have a camera attached to it because somebody had been vandalizing their son's grave. So anyway, these people notice this on their camera footage and go to the cemetery owners who say, "We know who that is." So they get her contact information and introduce themselves to her and say, "Hey, we have something really beautiful to show you that we caught on our camera." And her mom just broke down into tears because she was like, "That is my baby. I know it is. That is my baby." It also captured her walking away with what appears to be a man. And her mom, Sandra, said, "I think she was there to take him to heaven." They both have a tragic story of things that happened to them. And I mean, both of them still haven't gotten justice. So I think she was there to comfort him and take him to heaven. But yeah, I mean, isn't that just amazing?
The camera caught it. She said it was her baby, so take her. We're gonna have to check up on that one. Mysterious.
This is the scary story about the mom. One night, there was a 6-year-old girl who woke up in the middle of the night to her mom standing over her bed, staring down at her with a creepy smile on her face. The girl knew something was wrong, but she couldn't put her finger on it. The girl then said, "Mom?" "Yes," she replied. "What are you doing?" the girl asked. "Watching you sleep," she said. "Why?" said the girl. The mom didn't say anything and kept staring at her, smiling. They each didn't say a word to each other for minutes, but still keeping eye contact with each other. Then the mom began to walk backwards, still staring at the girl with that creepy smile, and then went into the girl's closet and shut the door. The girl then got up and ran to her mom's bedroom and saw her mom asleep in her bed.
Wow. Why was the mom staring
Deadliest
over her?
disasters in human history.
Oh.
Part 1. In 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart 73 seconds into its flight, killing all 7 crew members aboard. The astronauts actually lived through the initial explosion and survived for nearly 3 minutes before they died on impact with the water. In 1184, a group of nobles gathered in a room in the Church of St. Peter above the latrine pit of the monks. All of a sudden, the floor collapsed due to their combined weight, causing 60 nobles to fall to their death into a pool of poop and sewage. In 1893, gifts were being passed out at a magic show in Victoria Hall. Over 1,000 kids tried to force themselves down a narrow staircase that led to a single door that opened inward. Only one child at a time could pass through, causing 183 children to be crushed to death.
Man, what the hell? All over some damn toys. These, man, like I said, when we read these clips together, bro, it's always bothering my mind, man. We learning new things every single day. Tap in with us.
Animals that became serial killers, Part 2. The sloth bear of Mysore. In 1957, the sloth bear of Mysore mauled over 30 humans and took the lives of 12.
What the?
The sloth bear's killing spree didn't stop, and the bear just had a desire for killing. The killer sloth bear went missing in late 1957, after the killings took place. What do you think ever happened to the sloth bear of Mysore?
Whoa. Did they, like, hunt for it or try to take it down, or they just let it roam?
In California, when their son began to say something very creepy.
A family vacation that took a strange turn. He visited the same area where a missing woman was last seen.
He said that there was a woman staring at him in the field nearby.
Got goosebumps. He said she needs our help, but she's dead, and she's laying face down with her legs up. She can't talk to me, but she's over there. We need to go help her.
Creeped out by this, both of his parents went to go check the surrounding area, but found nothing.
He said she has a black shirt, blue jeans, and blue hair, Mom. He kept saying, trust me, Mom.
After arriving home, Victoria posts about the experience to Facebook, and not long after she does so, the police came knocking at her door with photos of a woman named Sandra Johnson Hughes. She had gone missing in the exact same location 1 year prior. Authorities would then proceed to exhaust their efforts searching the area over the next few days. Sadly, they would find nothing. If what this little boy was saying was true, experts believe that any evidence of her remains would be long gone by now. Could Caden have actually seen the ghost of this woman, or is his description merely a coincidence? What do you believe?
Black shirt and blue hair.
He describes down to blue hair, said she has a black shirt, blue jeans, and blue hair, Mom.
Aiden was able to identify 3 out of 4 pictures of her. Detectives went back to the meadow with the Gorba family to investigate, but the case remains open.
That is insane. How he nailed, like, that description. He must. Whoa, that's really mind blowing. You guys really think you saw something? This world, man.
Terrifying animals who are glad are extinct. Number 1, the megalodon shark. This animal can grow to about 60 feet long, and one tooth is said to be the size of a human.
Damn.
They were meat-eating creatures that could kill and destroy just about anything. If they were still around today, oceans would be off limits. Number 2, the titanoboa. This snake weighed about 2,000 pounds but was also 40 feet long. The snakes killed their prey with constrictions, meaning they would suffocate them to death. Number 3, the caprosuchus. Just imagine if a T-Rex and a crocodile had a baby. This animal looks like a crocodile, but it has very long legs and can run very fast. The caprosuchus could run as fast as 40 kilometers per hour. For context, the average male human runs at just 13 kilometers per hour. What's more?
Morbid facts
Crazy.
that will give you nightmares. When a prisoner is electrocuted in an electric chair,
They can feel absolutely everything. They are fully aware that their body is being fried in real time, and one prisoner that survived said he actually smelled and tasted like cold peanut butter. Human corpses decompose 4 times faster in water than underground, and 8 times faster if left in the open air. It takes around 359 humans to have enough iron to forge a sword from their blood. Just about 3,000 people go missing every single year in the US. The last execution by guillotine was in 1977 in France. That was exactly the same year that the first Star Wars movie came out.
Insane to think about the last fact.
These are animals that used to be giants, part 1. Up first are bears. And yes, we all know bears are still pretty big and dangerous, but nothing is compared to what bears used to look like. So you see this mountain, and you see how it looks like it has a bunch of claw marks up and down it? Well, that's because it does. This mountain is called Devil's Tower, and there's a very disturbing story behind it. The scratches on this mountain are actually from a giant bear's claws. The bear always tried to reach the top, but it never could. This story has been passed down to generations of Native American tribes. And just imagine coming in contact with a bear this big.
What the hell? See, could you guys believe that one? A bear that big, man, was trying to crawl up that mountain? They said that story's been passed down for generations, so... I can't even imagine seeing a bear like that. The whole ecosystem would be different.
This picture has in common. There might be a lot of people who don't know this, but they were a part of the original case that inspired the film Scream. It was 1990, Gainesville, Florida, at the University of Florida, where a string of horrific crimes took place, and it involved those students. And when I think of almost every victim involved, Krista's story is definitely one of the most chilling, as her body was first found, but her head was found separately on her dresser. There were all these suspicions, and eventually some circumstantial evidence would put this kid behind bars, especially because he looked the part. The problem here is that he wasn't the guy. This was like a 72-hour period where it was just back-to-back slayings, till eventually they found their culprit, who was camping out in the woods outside of the university and was recording himself singing songs about what he had done. And if you want additional details on this, we covered a whole episode getting into the back.
I never knew Scream was based off that. I'm telling you, man, these media pieces, they be based on true stories. We just don't know the real backstory behind it, man. Another one. Exposed.
We figured, look, if we can remake perfect copies of these Parthenon sculptures, the visitors will have the same experience when they come to the British Museum. They'll see these amazing statues, they'll understand the aesthetics of antiquity, the Greeks would have their treasured objects back, and everybody would be happy. That was the plan. The British Museum decided they would take a very strong position against the project. So of course we did it anyway. And we did it guerrilla style, because we read the regulations for the museum. It says specifically, visitors may use 3D scanning equipment in the museum, and they may use the product of those 3D scans for any non-commercial purpose. Boom, we're done. So we went in guerrilla style and made scans of all the Parthenon sculptures.
I mean, so what's the pitch? Why should the British Museum have the copies, not the originals?
The Parthenon sculptures in their current state teach people absolutely nothing. In fact, they misinform people about the aesthetics of antiquity. These things were brightly painted with skin tones and garish colors. So the British Museum could take these copies, and not only could they display them in exactly the same form in which they are being displayed now, they would also have the capacity to restore them to the condition they were in when they were on the Parthenon, so people can really understand what the aesthetics of the ancient world were like, and to see them in their full glory.
Today's true crime story is
Yeah, so why did the British Museum, why did they want the real ones instead of, I guess, the replicas that they were making? That's the question we need to really be asking.
pretty chilling, okay? This one even scared me, right? But anyways, this has some very disturbing and graphic details. Viewer discretion is advised. In the early 1900s in Bavaria, Germany, the group of family lived in this farmhouse called the Hinterkaifeck. The family consisted of husband and wife Andreas and Kazilia, their widowed daughter Victoria, and Victoria kids Joseph and Kazilia. The family noticed a lot of strange things going on around the house. Andreas noticed a set of keys that were missing, and also there were footprints in the snow leading from the woods to the house, but there was never no footprints ever leaving the house. There was also a newspaper in the house that Andreas never remembered buying, and it looked as if someone was trying to pick at the lock on the shed.
When all these strange things were going on, they had a maid at the time, and the maid was like, look, I gotta quit. This house is haunted. The family kept hearing noises in the attic, and the maid just like, look, I can't be here anymore. The noises in the attic, all the stuff going on around here, I can't do it.
She's smart.
Although strange things continue to happen in the house, the family ends up hiring a new maid named Marie. What the group of family did not know was that those strange things would lead to their murder. On the evening of March 31st, 1922, the group of family was murdered. Victoria's son Joseph was killed in his crib, and Maria was killed in her bed. What's so crazy about this is that same day, March 31st, 1922, that was the same day that the maid Maria was hired. Meanwhile, the rest of the group of family was found murdered in the barn, and they were stacked on top of each other. When people in the town didn't see the family for days, they grew concerned, and the police came to the house, and then that's when they discovered all the bodies. All the victims were killed by a pickaxe, but the police were so puzzled about something. The family wasn't found until 6 days later, but it seemed like someone had made themselves at home. Police noticed that food was being eaten, the animals were being fed, someone was sleeping in the beds, sitting on the furniture, things like that. For years, the police were looking for the suspect or suspects, but they couldn't find anybody. So the case was closed in 1955, and the year after the murders, the whole farmhouse was demolished. To me, I feel like someone was able to sneak into the house without the family's knowledge and was living in the attic for months. That's what I think. Alright, y'all, that's it, and I'll be back to do more true crime videos for you guys.
We heard cases about that before, people being in the places and they don't know.
In 2018, both of these women were found decapitated in Morocco. And trigger warning, this story is extremely disturbing. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this story takes us to Morocco, but specifically to the Atlas Mountain. And the two victims were Louisa Jespersen, who was 24 years old from Denmark, and her friend Maren Uland, who was 28 years old from Norway. And in December of 2018, both of the women had decided to go on a month-long camping trip in the mountains. And both of the women had also been studying outdoor activities at the University of Southeastern Norway. They were also apparently roommates, and they were training to become guides. Now, it's believed that both of the women were being targeted by the men that ended up attacking them. Not only were they targeted, they were also observed for multiple days before the entire thing happened. And on December 17th, both of their bodies were found beheaded inside of their tents by another hiker. Shortly after that, there was a video that went viral on the dark web that supposedly showed one of the beheadings. And even though you could dig deep enough to find this video, I really don't recommend watching it. Just reading the comments alone about the video and what it shows are extremely disturbing. But I'll describe it for you guys in the least graphic way possible. Now, the video is quite short, but it begins with one of the women being filmed on what appears to be a cell phone. At first, she's being filmed while she's lying down on her stomach. And you can see one of the perpetrators trying to cut her head from the back. When the perpetrator realizes that this was not going to work, he then turns her around so she's facing up. He then puts his foot on her face, kind of locking her into place on the ground, and proceeds to decapitate her. And apparently all you can hear in the video is her screaming for her life as she asks and begs for her mother. Eventually, authorities were able to find their main suspects, which were these three men here. And the three men were known for having pledged their allegiance to ISIS. And the reason for them doing this to these two innocent women was because they believed that they were enemies to their God. And then in July of 2019, the three men were found guilty and were given a death sentence. And although one of the men did take the easy way out and took his own life, the other two are still waiting for their sentence to be executed.
Crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy story. You guys, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. Like I said, I greatly appreciate the support. Guys, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, man. I'm doing daily uploads. That's my schedule for now. So you guys should always check the channel at least one time, like every day. Because you guys going to find a new upload. You guys going to catch in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube. What's up, seekers? Welcome back to the channel, man. Hopefully you guys you're doing all right, man. If you guys are brand new here, man, what we do is we break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos to IG reels, Facebook reels, man. Anything weird, usual, unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank the Seekers who's been tapping in with us, man. Subbing up to the channel, liking the videos. I greatly appreciate that, man. That's how we grow the Seekers. That's how we grow our community. So guys, hit that like button, subscribe. Found this video for you guys today, man. Let's do what we do best. Seek the truth, Seekers. Here we go.
The worst thing I've ever heard of happening at a theme park. This roller coaster was called the Smiler at Alton Towers in the UK. This is the promo for the ride. It was supposed to be really, really creepy.
Join us.
This happened on June 2nd, 2015. The staff sent an empty car to test the tracks, and the car stopped in the middle of the tracks of the roller coaster. They then sent a car full of people down the tracks when this empty car was just sitting here. So the people collided into the empty roller coaster car. I obviously can't show you the video on here or this video will get taken down, but it's terrifying because these people see the car sitting there and they know they're going to crash into it. And there's a video of the aftermath where the car that they're in is just swinging back and forth and they're screaming and crying in pain. It's horrible. 5 people needed serious treatment. 2 people shattered their knees, and 1 person had to get their leg amputated. It's all so terrifying. I can't even imagine. And of course, this video is informational, and I mean no disrespect to anyone involved. If you like my content, follow my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more. It really helps when you interact.
Surgery in the 8th.
Seekers, bro. Like I said, I'm not even that freaking that kind of big on roller coasters, man. I remember when I went to the freaking amusement park, bro. So everybody's getting on the freaking big roller coasters. I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. That ain't for me. I don't know, a couple, man, but that's freaking insane, bro. The head that they said they sent a roller coaster ahead and they stopped mid tracks, and they still sent another one full of people. I don't know what was going through that person's head when they decided to do that plan, but that was like a freaking demented plan, bro. Who does something like that, man? Just to see, I guess, to see what type of results they can get. And that promo was freaking weird as hell too, Seekers, man. I guess that promo was a sign, bro. Crazy.
1800s was fucking insane. Literally no anesthesia, no fucking drugs. You was awake while motherfuckers was chopping you up. One of the professional choppers, Robert Liston, was literally one of the fastest surgeons, which is good because you obviously want that shit to be over with fast. One day he was working so fast on a patient that he accidentally cut off 2 of his assistant's fingers. Both the patient and his assistant later died of gangrene. Oh, that's not all. Also, during the procedure, he accidentally swiped his blade past one of the elderly doctor's coats. The elderly doctor thought he was cut and literally went into shock and had a heart attack. So this motherfucker literally killed 3 people trying to save 1.
Crazy Seekers.
This teen took revenge on his ex in the most horrific way. On June 3rd, 17-year-old Madison Schmitz was stabbed by her ex-boyfriend, 18-year-old Spencer Pearson, outside a restaurant in Jacksonville. On this day, Madison, her mother Jackie, and a friend were sitting at a restaurant named Mr. Chubby's Wings when they noticed Spencer sitting at a table not too far from them. You see, Madison and Spencer had been broken up for a couple of months now, but he has been harassing her by following her to school and leaving notes on her car. So when they spotted Spencer sitting close to them at the restaurant, they quickly left. Spencer followed Madison and her mother to the parking lot. He threw Madison to the ground and began stabbing her. Madison was stabbed 15 times. Many of these wounds hit her back, which caused her to be paralyzed. Madison's mother was also stabbed in the head and leg while she tried to protect her daughter. This man who happened to be there intervened and tried to stop Spencer, and as a result, he was stabbed in the hand. When police were on their way, Spencer slit his throat in an attempt to take his own life, but he was unsuccessful. Spencer has been charged with 2 counts of attempted premeditated murder and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. So about 10 minutes.
Seekers, man. Like I said, you gotta watch out for people like that, bro. When you're in a relationship, man, Because once it ends or something, bro, you don't know that'll send them over a cliff or not. And look what happened, man. Just following, stalking her, bro. And look at the result of what happened, man. Such a tragic case. See him, like, imagine you going to like a restaurant, I guess you with your parents or something, and your freaking ex, it's just like you see him following you. That would always throw me off right there, but I wouldn't even actually try to leave the restaurant because you want witnesses, man. In case something trying to happen, something try to go down, look what happened. As soon as they left, that's when he made his move. Things, man, people would do, bro, just to get back at the ex in a relationship. It's truly terrifying, Seekers.
Minutes ago, there was an update in the disappearance of Nicola Bully. Nicola went missing last Friday whilst walking her dog near the River Wyre. And just moments ago, police released a CCTV image of a woman walking her dog who they now believe may have been the last person to see Nicola. It's important to note that the police want to talk to this woman as a potential witness and not a potential suspect. In fact, police have now said that they have no reason to suspect that a third party is involved with Nicola's disappearance. Authorities are continuing an extensive search of the river as well as searching an old abandoned house near to where Nicola went missing. Hopefully, Nicola will be located soon and her family and friends will have answers.
They gotta locate her soon.
A man just tried to end the lives of a woman and 2 young children by driving his Tesla off of a 250-meter cliff. The only problem is, all 4 of them somehow survived. The cliff is known as Devil's Slide, and when authorities were informed of the incident, they assumed that they'd be retrieving bodies, until they noticed movement from inside the vehicle. One official said, "We go there all the time for cars over the cliff, and they never live." This was an absolute miracle. The man and the woman sustained serious but non-life-threatening injuries, while the 2 children came out unharmed. So the question is, was this extremely lucky or a W for Tesla?
Damn. Are Teslas that durable, Seekers? If you can tell the name of that freaking cliff they went off, that's like a bad omen, bad sign already. But to hear that they had the 2 of those had non-significant injuries and the kids came out unscathed, that's just a pure miracle right there, Seekers. I don't know if that's Tesla or if that was something else, man. But he tried to end it all, bro, and nothing even happened, bro. Whew. Somebody was looking out for that whole family. What do you guys think, Seekers, man? That's a bizarre case, bro. Truly.
Do not watch this video unless you have a very strong stomach. This case is truly sickening. On August the 31st, 2019, Margaret Sumney was unreachable. Her family knew something was wrong. They tried and failed to get hold of her for 2 days before notifying police to ask them to do a welfare check. When police went to her house in Pennsylvania, what they discovered was horrifying. They found shattered glass all over the floor and blood smeared on the walls. They found the 67-year-old's body in the bath. She'd been beaten to death. The autopsy revealed that she died from blunt force trauma to the head. Police interviewed her son David, who initially denied having anything to do with her death. However, police searched his phone and found absolutely disgusting images. They uncovered 277 sickening pictures, including selfies of David with her body, his face smeared in her blood, and doing a thumbs up pose. Police also discovered that David was in possession of his mum's jewellery and several blank cheques. He also had a record of previously assaulting his mother twice and attacking his now deceased father once. The same year as his mum's murder, he allegedly waterboarded and strangled his ex-girlfriend in an Atlantic City hotel. It's reported, though, that he just slipped through the cracks in the police databases, allowing him to go on to offend again. He was soon arrested, and it was found that when he'd committed the murder of his mother, he'd taken a large amount of Adderall. His defense argued that he had diminished responsibility due to his substance and alcohol use. Originally, he was facing charges of first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. However, due to a legal loophole, he entered a guilty plea, so he would only be charged with third-degree murder. He was sentenced to 20 to 40 years in prison. Terrifyingly, as he's now been in prison since 2019, and due to his good behavior behind bars, he could be released in just 17 years.
Seekers, man, what do you guys think? I don't think he should get freaking off like that, man. It's like, bro, like they said, he had a pattern or history of attacking people before, and they said they didn't pick up on him because he just slipped through the freaking cracks, man. I'm telling you, man, the system, sometimes it's fair, sometimes it's not, man. But they had, like you said, he had a history of doing that to people, and he just let it slip through the cracks, and they said due to a loophole, he got that low sentence. And the head could be even lowered again. I'm like, I don't think so, Seekers, man. And he did that to his own freaking mom, bro. Your own blood, bro. Can't trust anybody, man. Family, friends, nobody's the exception. What do you guys think, Seekers?
This is a man who killed his family twice. Gregory Green is a convicted murderer who completely failed at his second chance at life. In his early 20s, he married Tanya Green. It wasn't long into the marriage that Gregory started to show some signs of abusiveness, such as jealousy, anger, and violence. While Tanya was 6 months pregnant with Gregory's child, she threatened to leave him for good once she got home. But Tanya never got the chance because as soon as she got home, Gregory stabbed her with a steak knife 10 times, killing her and their unborn child. Gregory was given a 15 to 25 year sentence in prison, and during his time there, he was denied parole 4 times. However, during his time in prison, he gained lots of support from friends and family and grew really close to a pastor named Fred Harris, who helped him find God, and he was his biggest supporter of getting him out. In 2008, Gregory was released on parole after serving 16 years in prison. And after just 2 years on parole, he was a completely free man. Shortly after that, he married his second wife, Faith Harris Green, who was the daughter of the pastor he was working with in prison. They were married for 6 years, and Faith had a 19 and 17-year-old child from a previous marriage, and Gregory and Faith had a 5 and 6-year-old child. Over the course of their marriage, Gregory started to show the same signs of abusiveness as he showed before, and Faith also tried to file a restraining order, but was denied. Things got really ugly in 2016 when Gregory poisoned his 2 young children that were sleeping upstairs, took Faith to the basement, tied her to a chair, and beat her. He then brought down his stepchildren and shot them in front of her. Faith survived the encounter, and Gregory was sentenced to prison yet again and won't be eligible for parole until he's 97 years old.
Imagine getting arrested.
Seekers, man, we know you hear the expression about everybody deserves a second chance, but he literally had a second chance and he wasted it, and it was a pattern or a cycle you just could not get out of, man. And to do that to the freaking pastor who was there for you, man, the daughter. Sickening case, Seekers. Did that to his own kids, man, and to the stepkids as well. That's just traumatizing them, man. Just like, what's the point? You know, everybody deserves a second chance, but it's people like that that makes people, that's why people sometimes say people don't deserve a second chance, and he's one of the prime examples.
For having a child with a dead body. Jennifer Burrows is a 26-year-old who was working at a morgue when she was arrested after a DNA test proved her child's father was a dead body she was supposed to autopsy. But it actually gets worse from here, because while Jennifer was working as an assistant pathologist at the morgue, she had relations with more than 60 bodies, belonging to men aged 17 to 71 years old. She did this for 2 years until it led to the birth of her son. Her son's father was a 57-year-old veterinarian from Texas, who passed away in a car accident in 2017. Jennifer was charged with 158 counts of indecent treatment of a corpse. Many psychologists and experts have debated why someone would do this. The reasons range from curiosity to severe mental illness. Some even believe Jennifer was suffering from psychosis. Alright, after all that, I don't really know how to end this video, so stay safe out there and follow for more.
This 000 call is absolutely horrifying. It's a call made by 26-year-old Jessica Camilleri after she'd just attacked her mother with 7 knives, taken off her head, and walked outside with it in her hand.
Hello, it's Alison from Police Emergency. We just received a call from this number.
Yes, I need you to get the ambulance and the police out immediately.
To which address?
128 Huntley Avenue. Please come. I need you. This is I need you. I grabbed the knife off her because I thought she was going to stab me, so I stabbed her back. And I was so heated up with anger, I just kept stabbing her. And I took off her head.
Jessica suffers from multiple mental health disorders as well as ADHD and OCD. Her mother was trying to get her help after multiple incidents of Jessica assaulting people in public, pulling their hair, and threatening to shred their heads. She'd also made hundreds of phone calls to random numbers, saying things like, "I'll come to your house with a knife and shred your head to the neck." On this fateful night, July 20th, 2019, Jessica's mother Rita was at home with a younger relative, a little boy that hasn't been named due to his age. Jessica hated the fact that this younger relative was in the house, and her and her mother got into a heated argument. Jessica dragged Rita by her hair to the kitchen, grabbed a kitchen knife and began stabbing over and over. Each time one of the knives broke, she'd grab another and continue the attack. At one point, the 4-year-old child that was witnessing the attack actually tried to save Rita. He jumped on Jessica and hit her over the head with the lid of a toy box. She threw him off and actually slashed his cheek and his arm and hand in the process. She then continued the attack on Rita. Most of the blows were aimed at Rita's face, head and neck. She stabbed Rita through the eye socket, took off her nose and tongue, and then twisted her head clean off, walked outside with it in her hand, and went to a neighbour's house. She then made that 000 phone call, and when police arrived, she told them, "My mother's head is on the concrete over there. Can you sew it back on?" Jessica's trial began, and the court was played the 000 phone call as well as body cam footage that showed Jessica repeatedly asking police if they could bring her mother back to life and reattach her head. In 2020, Jessica was cleared of murder by a jury and instead convicted of manslaughter after her defence lawyers argued that she was impaired by a mixture of mental disorders. She was sentenced to 21 years with a non-parole period of 16 years. However, this year she appealed that sentence and she won. Her non-parole period was reduced, meaning she'll be eligible for parole in 2031 when she'll be 37.
See, cause that case that freaking twists and turns, bro. But to hear that freaking call, it's chilling, man. I don't see how people can just do that after they do like a horrific act like that. They can just be so calm on the phone talking and just saying what they did. She took off her mom's head. And the 4-year-old kid freaking traumatized. Like, he even knew, like, imagine being a kid that young, but that kid knew something was going on and try to help. Like, 4 years old, having to see that. Scarring that kid for life, secrets, man. Tragic case.
911, what's the location of the emergency?
Help me!
Yes, what address do you need help?
I'm not on an address. I'm on the road on Myers Road. He's trying to kill me.
Which road are you on?
Myers Road, Morgan City.
Okay, do you have an address? Listen.
Be late. Come on, get a cop here now.
Okay, who's trying to kill you?
My husband. He's trying to take a shot.
Okay, what?
He's trying to kill me. Come on.
And just, what kind of gun does he have? Ma'am, take a deep breath so I can understand you. Ma'am, I've already got help coming. I need you to tell me wire and what?
On plan. I'm on plan. Wire.
Just a minute.
I'm walking. He shot me.
Okay, you're on fire at Glenview Court?
He shot me.
Okay, where did he shoot you?
In the chest.
In the chest?
He's over there.
She ended it all. I'm like, you know, the police, they on our phone, like I said, I'm talking. You gotta like try to freaking calm them down, but they going through a traumatic event, so you know they not thinking, man. So you trying to tell a person calm down in an event like that. I don't think that's gonna work. You just gotta try to work through it, seekers in. But boy, to her, she got freaking shot in the chest, and she still was able to make that call. Just to show you the strength that she had. It's a freaking terrifying call too. She had a mate. I guess he was chasing after her in a turquoise truck, and she was on foot.
First ever footage of Madeleine McCann after the event.
Spotted on 4th of May 2007, one day after her disappearance. This girl had heterochromia and was seen some miles from the crime scene.
What the hell happened? We're gonna dive deep into that one, Seekers.
And thin and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes.
It's the cruel case. What the hell? Seeker, man, these cases, they be flashing sometimes, but the Mr. Cruel case. Tell me down below, man, if you guys got any information on that, man. We're going to freaking look that one up, man, because he says she's a true combat addict, and it's enough for her to keep her up at night, but that case did, so something shocking must have happened in that case. We got to check that out.
This is one of the most high-profile pedophiles in Hollywood, Jeffrey Jones. You might recognize Jeffrey from a number of movies he's been in, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Hunt for Red October, and Beetlejuice. It's highly ironic to me that in a lot of the movies he was in, Jeffrey Jones played the villain, and he ended up being one in real life. So after his career flourished in the late 80s and 90s, let's fast forward to 2002. That year, Jeffrey was arrested for the possession of CP, if you know what I'm talking about, and he was accused by a 17-year-old boy of soliciting him to take nude photos. These charges get even more disturbing when you realize that the young boy who accused Jeffrey of soliciting him to take nude photographs was 14 when the charges were originally brought up and the accusations were made. Jeffrey pleaded no contest to the solicitation. He openly admitted that he had done this horrible thing. But once again, because of legal loopholes, because he admitted to this and pled no contest, that meant that the other CP charges were completely dropped. And what happened to Jeffrey after all this? Well, he got 5 years probation. He also had to go through counseling and register as a sex offender. And yes, if you're wondering, to this day he is still registered as a sex offender. You can find the records of all of this online. But it seems like Jeffrey didn't want to be known as a sex offender throughout his life. For the rest of his life, and he would end up being arrested twice for failing to update his sex offender registration. And in 2006, when working on the set of the movie Who's Your Caddy?, the community of Aiken, South Carolina, where the film was being filmed, complained to the government and complained that a sex offender was on set. This was due to the fact that families had been invited to visit the set with their children, and they had no idea that there was a predator lurking amongst the crew. To this day, a lot of people don't know what this guy has done, and even Justin Bieber posted a photo with him a couple years back, and a lot of people were obviously a little mad about that. And I think it's important to realize that these people are everywhere. They're your friends, your family, your neighbors. They're even celebrities. And at the end of the day, even the people that you look up to and have seen a million times on the silver screen could be the worst people you've ever met in real life. If you like these types of stories, give me a follow or listen to my wife and I's podcast, Murder in America.
This is what
Secrets, bro. Like I said, you gotta watch out for people like that. Like, just because he freaking pled that no guilty concept, like the other charges are freaking dropped. And because, like I said, you know, it's in Hollywood and stuff like that, so you don't know what went on behind the scenes to make those freaking charges drop. But they said he was used to playing freaking villains in the roles that he was given. He was a villain in real life, man. The freaking a mirror of his freaking real life. Like I said, Seekers, bro, this medias we be watching, man. The people behind the bro, there's always a story to tell, bro. And real life too. Like I said, we think we're just watching a short movie, but that can affect freaking real life as well. And Justin Bieber took a picture with them? How is he still in the freaking... Get that still getting work after that? the scenes, some stuff went on, Seekers, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
It's one of the most horrific stories I've come across, and that takes a lot. It's the story of Ottie Sanchez and baby Scotty. Viewer discretion is advised, it's graphic and it's disturbing. Ottie was a 33-year-old former healthcare worker in San Antonio, Texas. She'd undergone psychiatric treatment for schizophrenia and she'd been in and out of psychiatric wards for mental health problems. She was suffering from these problems when she met her boyfriend Scott, who was also in the healthcare profession and also suffered from schizophrenia. Ottie fell pregnant and in July 2009 she gave birth to a son who the couple named Scotty. Scott said she was a brilliant mother, she breastfed her son and cared for him like any mother would. Ottie absolutely doted on her son, but after his birth she began suffering from postnatal depression. Her mental health declined and she was admitted into hospital on July 20th. She was released less than a day later, despite the fact that she'd refused to take medication to help with her intrusive thoughts. She told her boyfriend Scott that she was suffering with PND and schizophrenia and she'd be taking Scotty and going to live with her mum, sister and nieces. 5 days later, she brought Scotty to see his dad, but after asking for a copy of the birth certificate, she flew into a rage, took Scotty in his car seat, threw it into the passenger seat of the car and drove off. Scott reported this instance to the police, fearing for his son's safety, but the police merely marked it down as a disturbance. By now, Ottie was suffering from postpartum psychosis. She'd expressed to officers and medical professionals that she was hearing voices, and she feared she may harm her son. Despite all of her concerns, Scotty was left in her care, and on July 26, 2009, the unthinkable happened.
It's a house. It's an emergency.
And what's going on? What's the emergency?
I'm sorry?
What's the emergency? What's going on?
She hurt her child. Seriously, hurt her child.
How did she do that? What's going on with the child?
The baby is dead. Jesus.
What did you say?
The baby is dead.
Who was the baby?
The baby's 3 weeks. 3 weeks old.
3 weeks old?
Not even 3 weeks old.
What did she do to him?
She stabbed him. There's blood all over the pants. There's, I don't know. Where's your sister? You said, stay there, I'll be there. I'm sorry. Priscilla, where's your sister? She's just sitting on the couch. She's gone crazy last night. She was hearing voices. She kept bringing me the baby, and finally she calmed down, and I took her back to baby. And then now I just woke up to her screaming. Okay, how old is the baby? Not even 3 weeks old. She's baby's dead. This baby's dead. She needs somebody come. Okay, there are other ways, but okay. No, nobody's dead. It's okay, baby. Just stay right there. Is that your sister? Yes. Oh my God, I can't believe it. You got yourself? Guys, this parent told you to come to me. I was not. You're talking to you, Priscilla. Yes, where did she stab herself? In the heart, in the stomach, she said. And where did it is? I see a stab wound in her heart, yes.
When officers arrived at the home, they saw a scene that was so horrific they've had to seek counselling. Ottie had used 3-bladed weapons to stab, kill, dismember and decapitate her 3-week-old son. She'd then eaten parts of his brain, his foot and his nose, saying that the devil had told her she had to do this in order to kill the demon inside her and stop an apocalypse. Ottie had then stabbed herself and slashed her own throat. Ottie was arrested and charged with capital murder, but after being examined by 3 separate doctors who all determined she was legally insane, she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Ottie was admitted to a state mental institution where she'll stay until the jury determines that she's not a risk to herself or others.
Bone chilling case seekers. scary clown or something? What the hell was he doing? That case before that, the clown seekers, man, still sends a chill down through my spine. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker, seeking the truth. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support, man. Like I said, in order for the seekers to grow, I need you guys to do some simple things, man. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below, man. Tell me what you guys think of the video. Hit that post notification bell. That's it, man. Like I said, I appreciate the support, seekers, bro. Been uploading every day this month, man. Haven't missed a day, so I'm really proud of myself for that. Hopefully April, man, we can do the same thing. Keep this rolling. Guys gonna catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, seekers.